initiated.
Now here's Murray. Following the missed shot by Tobias Harris.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And Atlanta gets called for the foul. 76ers have shot just 1 free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game. Both free throws good from Villa. For Atlanta. They've gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game. Their last meeting was in Philadelphia, where they were unable to fight off the 76ers.
Scoring efficiency was an issue in that one. Took them too many shots to get their points.
Yes, yeah. They had a hard time taking the lid off the basket. Their offense just looked flat.
Here's Murray. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game. And the rejection by Embiid.
Oh, you got to be careful around Embiid. He's around.
Oh, that was something else.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in. Build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. Here's Hurt on the pass to Murray. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on Harris. The Hawks shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
The 76ers leading by 5. And he lobs it up toward the rim. No good from Villa.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
No, I'm always surprised when it doesn't happen. I'm sure these two will have a good laugh about it later.
Now, here is Ibaka. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. 6 on the shot clock. And Embiid with the block. Villa. He's covered by Murray.
He's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. The Hawks trail by 7. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Pass to Collins. The shot, no good. And Philadelphia the other way now. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road. But they found ways to get their guys good looks.
And a lot of it is moving without the ball. When you do that, things tend to open up.
Here's Murray after the made shot from Villa. Here's Hurt. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Takes the 13-footer. The Hawks again can't hit.
They know they can't give him that shot. The D's all over it, not even giving him an inch of space.
The shot's good from Villa.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Atlanta calls timeout. And you look at Joel Embiid, maybe the best two-way big man Chris in the NBA today. If there's anything he needs to work on, what would that be?
Well, I still think that there's room for growth as far as his playmaking. And he's going to command double teams on a nightly basis. So it's all about taking advantage of the defense and sending that extra man.
And it's a completely new group for Atlanta. Inside, here's Reddish. And Reddish with the slam.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. I don't mean style points. There's 53 seconds left in the first. Nifty move. The shot, no good. Good D by Thompson. The Hawks trail by 9. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. Now, here's Reddish. Covered by Villa.
Really having a difficult time getting anything to fall.
Great D that time from Villa. Richardson. Buckets passes to Richardson. Five to shoot. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, they've been very aggressive, and they've taken early control of this game.
And here is Parker. From deep three-point range, and the last second attempt does not go in for him. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. We'll get right back to the action when we return. A native of Cameroon, Joel Embiid talks about making a...
Not knowing English, obviously I do.
So the 76ers with a completely new group now. On the court right now for the Hawks. Herter the 2 with Hunter at the 3. Collins is out there with Ibaka, and it's Murray in at the point.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
This isn't like it, and he knows it. The best thing they can do is try to get him more easy looks.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, when Trae Young was in college, he was known for his long-range shooting. But Young says, the people who know me best know that I'd rather get an assist than any other stat. I pride myself on making the right play. Knowing your teammates get joy and excitement from playing with you is all I care about. Kevin?
That's great to see. Thank you, D.A. Fans, just broadcasters, love to see teams get out and attack in transition. Would you like to see the league crack down on intentional fouls that will halt that break, slow down that break, stifle that break?
No, because the home fans or the fans of the team that's fouling doesn't want that team to get out and get easy 2 points. I mean, we still have to have defense in the game, so anything that takes away from team scoring, you just can't say, well, we want to watch them score, don't do it. No. And very honestly, if you're an unselfish team, usually on those breaks, it's usually because a player holds the ball too right. Usually they have another open player in front of them that they could pass it up to. And if you're an unselfish team, usually you'll still give the fans what they want. And that's a crazy highlight on the play.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
Starting to take over here, building a big lead that could ultimately prove insurmountable.
Now here's Murray. Lock at 6. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. And the 3 off target.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
And so it's Murray with it. He brings it up for the Hawks. It's a 16-point game. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
Yeah, I felt like they attacked, but with a purpose. They knew what they wanted to accomplish coming in.
Aggressiveness is everything, and they certainly played with a ton of it to get that win.
Now, here's Hunter. After the miss from Villa.
And how about the awareness Hunter possesses? Understands when one of his guys has an opportunity.
And stolen by Murray. And here we go. Murray heading to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Every team looking to get easy ones in transition.
You know, Greg, that's about as high percentage a look as you're going to get running the floor beautifully.
Here's Villa. There's Embiid. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Look at that, the massive size of Embiid, Kevin. He uses it well to cause problems.
And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes. He just got to make sure. They protect him.
Here's Hurt. With the floater, he lays it in. Herter's got 5 points now in the quarter.
That's just great touch. The teardrop, well, that's all about shoot.
And it's blocked by Ibaka.
And, well, he's been the NBA's leader in blocks multiple times. Ibaka just has that rare instinct for it.
Here's Villa. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
So I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
76ers have yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5. Both free throws good from Villa. That's a 2 from Parker, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's Philadelphia with a 14-point lead as we bring the... And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Hey, you know, buckets, he's really been making it happen, guys.
Man, how about the amount? He's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters. He has been terrific.
Yeah, Greg, this game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
Harris and Embiid together in the middle. Buckets is out there with Simmons. And it's DeRozan in at the 3, the small forward. That's the group in the game for the 76ers. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thanks, Kevin. Buckets in that last game against the Thunder was phenomenal. He scored 40 points. And it was impressive how many times he was able to get himself to the foul line and capitalize. Another outstanding outing, something that's become more and more commonplace for him. Bring it back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose that game. We'll see if he comes in with that same attitude tonight.
I think he will, because he takes being a leader seriously, and it shows in how he approaches things at both ends of the floor.
Chris, at that free throw line, there's a lot of chirping, isn't there, among the players around the lane. It just seems like their mouths are always moving. A lot of chirping.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, for the ones that aren't sucking there and aren't tired, they're talking to each other. It's the only real break in action, and there's times, too, you get to see what has happened through the plays before, so you get to bust a guy up or some jokes or just flat out talking trash. And sometimes guys are saying, I hate to tell you this, but sometimes guys are going, man, listen, I'm so tired. He's going to make this free throw. Don't push me too hard, because I got to get back to my couple seconds.
They say that, huh?
Oh, yeah. Especially to the guys. I remember saying that to Ben Wallace one time. He was my rookie, and I was like, listen, man, you know Max is going to make this free throw, man. Come on, don't push me off the basket.
What was the response?
He pushed me into the basket.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Here's Herter. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That's on Ben Simmons.
They call him Red Velvet. Kevin Herter, out of the University of Maryland, proved he can stripe it from day one.
And Greg Herter, the 19th pick back in 2018, sweet touch and at 6'7". Good size at the shooting guard position.
And the Hawks general manager, Travis Schlenk, coming from the Warriors with Trae Young and Kevin Herter. The Hawks hoping they have a kind of Splash Brothers East.
And Philadelphia decides to take their first timeout right here.
And while we've got a chance, let's check out the stats for buckets. Tops in scoring, 4th in field goal percentage, and he's as opportunistic as anybody defensively, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in steals per game.
And his scoring abilities are just so far out of sight. Number 1 overall right now. No one's been able to slow him down or even come close.
Great feed. Simmons, the passing skills of a point. At 6'10", he can see the whole court.
Via And plenty of contact on the shot. So, 2 free throws coming up. And Atlanta gets called for the foul. And it'll be his 4th time going to the free throw line in the game.
And you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
Some changes for Philadelphia. LaMarcus Aldridge comes in for Embiid, and it's Richardson in for DeMar DeRozan. And a change for the Hawks. Bembry's checked in for Kevin Huerter. Now here's Murray. It's hauled in by Harris. Harris has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Villa. Oh, wow. And that one is hammered home.
Did you see the no-look pass by Harris right there? I mean, he's a wing that knows how to move the ball.
Murray, the pass to Aminu. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the 3rd.
Slow to get warm after the break. Go for 3 now. Maybe they need an early timeout just to try to settle things down.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And Atlanta gets called for the foul. You heard this the other day, the NBA announcing the development of the BAL, the Basketball African League. They feel there's a lot of untapped potential there. I would tend to agree.
I'm so excited. I already put my name in the hat to go out there and work with and help develop these kids. Oh, yeah, I'm excited. I mean, just think about this. You want to know what type of talent is out there? Let's just start with the Kings. Then we go to Mutombo and B. He's from Cameroon. How about Patrick?
The 76ers leading by 19. Simmons feeling it out a bit. 41 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. Murray kicks to Reddish. Out of bounds. It'll be 76ers ball. 29 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. With some arc, and the rejection by Ibaka. The shot's good from Plumlee.
And one of the stories of the second half has been all of those second chance points. I mean, they have been terrific on the offensive backboard.
Parker with him. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. From deep. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And as we conclude the 3rd quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a what? Head coach Nate McMillan is mic'd up along the sidelines. Let's check it out.
And everything is a jump shot. All right,
and we reach the 4th quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. And Simmons has got the ball here for the 76ers. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 23 points. Our 4th quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup. On the court for Atlanta, they've got Collins. Jabari Parker is out there with Hunter. Then it's Reddish. And it's Murray in at the 1 spot.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
A good sign that he's getting to the line a lot here in the second half, putting pressure on the D.
In the NBA 2K League, C-Web, the first e-sport operated by a U.S. pro sport. And it's quickly growing. Do you throw down on the sticks?
Yeah, just a little announcement to all the GMs in the 2K League. I am available. I'm a free agent. I'm ready to go. I'm nice on the sticks. I can play career mode, team mode, one-on-one mode. Whatever you need from me, I am ready to go. But I love it, man. It's great to see people who love this game, whether it's virtual or real life. It's hoops, baby.
So much fun. Payne, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Now Murray. Passes it to Hunter. Latrey. Good, and the assist goes to Murray.
And the defense has to recognize this. Hunter is a legit threat to shoot off the catch.
Simmons passes to Villa. 76ers moving the ball around. Six to shoot. Softly drops in the floater. Bucket Rockets got 42 in the game.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
Oh, I do too, Greg. You have to go to your best scorers. I mean, it's a smart strategy, and so far, it's paying off in this game.
Out to the right wing. And Bray kicks to Murray. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
DeMar DeRozan, he's checked in for Payne. Serge Ibaka has checked in for Atlanta. Reddish comes in for DeAndre Bembry.
Very aggressive defense to prevent the easy lay-in.
And the call will be against Harris. That's foul number 2 for him. More star players changing teams. The word tampering comes up, Chris. Is the league striking the right balance on enforcement?
Oh, yes. And you know, Commissioner Silver, he knows all the tricks. He doesn't want it to be a police state, but he knows a wink from a wink.
Right,
You know
yes.
what I mean? So you got to draw some lines. But again, how do you stop it? I mean, you know, if I'm playing on the Lakers and I say, wow, you know, I think Anthony Davis has the best eyebrows in the world. You know, you got to let me say that. And you know, if that's recruiting, it's recruiting. So it's a fine line. And hopefully the players have some fun with it. And hopefully Commissioner Silver does his best to police while everyone at the same time is working.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Pau Gasol is checked in for Embiid. Ennis comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Richardson in for Ben Simmons. To the wing on the left. Now, here's Reddish. Takes a 3. A rebound by Gasol. And now the 76ers on the break. From beyond the arc. Rebound by the Hawks. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Pass to Chris. And with a younger generation of fans cutting the cord, Adam Silver has talked about ways, Chris, to make the games, the NBA games, more accessible.
Yeah, and as a guy, Kevin, that played on the West Coast, I know many people aren't happy with this idea, but I say move the games up an hour. Move it to 6 o'clock so that I can watch LeBron on the West Coast when I'm living on the East Coast and be to bed by a normal time where kids can stay up. But how about the streaming? I mean, you can watch it on your phone. There's so many better and different ways now. I mean, before, if you were traveling, you could never watch a game because you had to be by a TV set stuck into a wall. Now, that's your phone, your pads, and everything else. So I love the game. It's becoming more global because of the expansion and how we've gotten players out there in front of fans. And now, with the access that fans have from some type of mobile device, I just love it. I love it.
Play on the clock. Reddish's shot is good.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Philadelphia's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Here's Villa. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Atlanta's gone 2 or 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. And there's the pass to Reddish. Pass to Johnston. Fades back. Good.
Since he's wide open, he's got time to add a little style with the fadeaway.
Philadelphia leading by 23. Here's Villa. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And when the score is as lopsided as it is, and you can see they smell blood in the water, my man is going for the jugular.
Hawks have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. To the paint, here's Reddish. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game, now 6 for 10.
Oh, he's been as dependable as he always is. He can't do it all by himself, though.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Philadelphia.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so checking out the record for these guys, tonight will mark win number 37 for them on the year.
And in a 3-game season series, they take the first 2, and certainly they've had the edge in this matchup.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for buckets.
I mean, he had a plan for how to attack the D. He executed and never let up. Relentless offensive basketball.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
First free throw is good. And the 76ers making a change here. Plumlee's checked in. The Hawks making a switch here. Both free throws good from Villa. Here's Reddish. Passes it to Fernando. Here's Bembry. He's guarded by Villa. Fernando, the pass to Bembry. To the middle. Fernando can't get it to go.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D. Avoiding fouling and gotten the perfect position to alter the shot.
At the line for your 76ers, Villa taking 2 shots.
The first one falls. Both free throws good from Villa. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Reddish. Pass to Bembry. Here's Fernando. 6 on the shot clock. Bembry kicks to Reddish. Atlanta again missing. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers.
The energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And that about wraps it up. For David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Chris West, this is Kevin Harlan, thanking you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long, everyone.
This is the 2KMC,
And my juices are flowing because it's
30th tonight. I can feel it. I got those tickets you asked for too.
And David, thanks, DA. Let's check out the Western Conference standings right now that we're here in the new year. You look at the Jazz. Right now, they've been able to gather the 8th best record in the conference as the latter part of the season approaches.
And I think for the Jazz, they haven't had the great season that some were expecting, but it hasn't been a disaster. They just need a few things to go right for them down the stretch.
It's an amazing thing if you can get a couple of wins, generate.
Oh, the power on that goodness!
And how about just floating to the rim on that slam?
Boy, when he gets up, I mean, he gets up. Two pretty high-level defensive teams tonight, Doris. Is that due to talent, scheme, or hustle, or what do you attribute it to?
I think, Kevin, you just named the three things that are prerequisites to being a great defensive unit. Number one, you have got to have individual talent that is suited athletically to guard. Number two, you've got to have a great scheme that the coach has put in position. How are you guarding the pick and roll? Do you want to top block? Do you want to get out and challenge? Are you switching the pick and roll? And a lot of that comes down to, do you want to be great? Are you going to lay it all out there? Are you going to sacrifice your body? All of those things are a necessity.
And slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? And now, just over a minute played here in the first. High post, Gobert. He dishes it to Mitchell. It's rebounded by Villa.
Great rim protection to prevent him from converting. Beautiful.
And it's DeRozan missing.
Boy, a miss like that will drive any scorer crazy, especially with the defender giving a cushion.
Here's Mitchell. Great defense that time from Villa.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
I think expect them to go back to it because that's the kind of shot this offense is designed to generate.
Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. And he uses the glass on the layup. Bucket's got 6. Jazz have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter.
I think most people consider Salt Lake City not a big free agent destination. So the Jazz are what they call a pipeline team. And what does that mean? It means they have to draft and develop their talent internally. I'll tell you, it's been a struggle for him in this period, and they're struggling as a result.
A different look for Utah. Hialitza, who's checked in for Rab, and it's Joe Ingles in for Bogdanovich. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played, the shot's good from Villa. And the Jazz say they need a fundamentally sound process to building their roster. Doris, no shortcuts.
Well, there's no question about that, Kevin. This is a group that has to be value-spaced with their free agent acquisitions in a small market. The draft picks have got to be smart. Their teaching and cultivating of that talent and development is absolutely critical.
Well, Marcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Philadelphia. Exum deciding where to go with it. He kicks to Mitchell. It's rebounded by Aldridge.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Here's Simmons, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
And loves to operate around the rim. Simmons' tall frame helps him to beat defenders.
Exum with it. Simmons is there. Ingles can't get it to go. Philadelphia leading by 8. To the inside. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Clearly a foul.
The 76ers shooting their first free throws tonight. The first trip to the stripe in this one. That's good from Harris. Jonas Jerebko's checked in for the Jazz. Royce O'Neal comes in for X. Then for the 76ers, Plumlee, he's checked in for DeRozan. And Josh Richardson subbed in for Simmons. And Harris drops them both.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust. Tim, when he's at the line.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
And it's sent back by Plumlee. And now the 76ers on the break. Here's Villa. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
Well, what I love is the game plan has been solid from the opening tip. And guys are making their shots. That's critical.
And the Jazz call time here.
And momentum going the other way. Can they find some answers?
I think here you have just got to get back to what you do best and then live with the results.
And let's take a quick look at the numbers for Donovan Mitchell. 9th in scoring. And he's as opportunistic as anybody defensively, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in steals per game.
And you noted it, his points per game average is unreal right now. He's literally propping up the team's offense, scoring whenever they need him to.
I'm telling you this, if you leave one of Ingles' teammates open, Joe is going to find him.
50 seconds left here in the first quarter. Jazz trail by 9. Mitchell outside. And Utah, another 3.
Gets one to fall, but only his second make in the first 7 attempts.
And he dunks it down.
Now that's some hang time. What a pretty double clutch move.
Agreed, Greg. You can afford to get fancy on your way up when you've got that kind of space. Passes to Ingles. Jerebko dishes to Ingles. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots. And it's Mitchell missing. Here's Villa. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers holding on to an 8-point lead heading. Rudy Gobert talks about his expectations for the team.
Every year I want to keep getting better. And
Utah going with an almost entirely new group. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Jerebko. Rab comes in for Marvin Williams. Bogdanovich is checked in for Bielitsa. And it's Exum in for Mitchell. That's good from Simmons. Boris, you've seen a lot of these big men come and go in this league. Who would you say right now is the most complete big man in the NBA?
Well, two guys come to my mind immediately, and that's Joel Embiid, who I think probably could be more efficient with his three-point shooting, but is still enough of a threat that you have to guard him out there. They enter the ball through him in the post, and he can be a dominant scorer. He can also put it on the deck. And then Anthony Davis, who you could say all of those attributes that Joel Embiid has, the Brow has as well. Those are two of the most complete, dominant, two-way big men in today's game.
Rab is out there with Gobert. Then it's O'Neal. Then there's Bojan Bogdanovic. And it's Exum in at the point. That's the group right now for Utah. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Buckets in that last game against the Hawks got the job done. He finished with 52 points and played tremendous defense as well, really causing havoc on both ends of the floor. His numbers were off the charts. He was unguardable, and he knew it, and he took advantage of it. Kevin, back to you.
David, in stretches, he was absolutely dominant. Greg, he'd love to match that performance tonight.
This team needs his contributions. When he's right, he makes winning plays time and time again.
Well, when you're coming off a game like he had, you know the difference tonight. They're going to load up against him. They're going to try to take him out of his rhythm early.
Here's Rab. It's hauled in by the 76ers.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know. Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love, Greg, is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Pass to Bogdanovic. Back to Exum. Outside Bogdanovic. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Another miss by Utah.
I think he's got to settle down, because right now it feels like he's... You've got to be kidding.
A lot to like about the way they're playing right now. But still plenty of time left.
You do like that the offense is humming along. They're putting in the effort to distance themselves.
Shot to stop the run, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one on DeRozan.
There's a lot to like about Bogdanovic's game. He's a skilled scorer, he's a capable defender, and I think there's some leadership qualities there.
Joe Ingles, he's checked in for Royce O'Neal. The 76ers also with a sub. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Embiid. Here's Villa. Oh! That is just nasty.
The athleticism on that finish.
Nice.
I'll tell you, it's one thing to do this at home, another to do it in a hostile environment.
Boy, just sheer dominance, the ability to step into enemy territory and flat out take over. This is impressive.
Hits it from three-point range. Bogdanovic has got 5.
Boy, you love to see Bogdanovic stroke that deep ball. What an accomplished scorer from distance.
He tries for 3. No good from Villa. Now, here's Exum. Over Simmons.
And don't sleep on Simmons defensively. Very skilled there as well.
Thanks so much, David, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back. And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. And you know, Buckets has really been making it happen, guys.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And so in the game for the 76ers, Harris and Embiid together in the middle. And Simmons is out there with buckets. And it's DeRozan in at the 3 spot.
Well, you might think think at 6'3" in shoes, Donovan Mitchell is undersized for the shooting guard position. But his combination of strength and length, along with the athleticism, help him to hold his arm.
No good on the second free throw. Right nowadays, teams looking for +6 players. That's a player whose arm span exceeds their height by at least 6 inches.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, how about a +9? I mean, a little over 6'1" in socks with a 6'10" wingspan. Those long arms, the reason for the Spider nickname.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, my cousin LaMarcus Aldridge is not the flashiest player, but he is respected. His former teammate in Portland, CJ McCollum, said he hasn't changed his game to try and fit the new NBA. He shoots mid-range, scores under the basket, strong as heck. He knows who he is. Kevin, LaMarcus isn't really my cousin, but his game never goes out of style.
You're right, DA, and he is still getting it done. Thank you. Here's the Jazz with the ball. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by DeRozan. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Boy, what a thing of beauty by DeMar DeRozan. His eyes are up. He locates his teammate. Just so pretty, Kevin.
Utah calls timeout. Of course, you and I were just talking about this as more and more players are going public with their trade requests. Do you think that's had a negative impact on the game?
Well, Kevin, I certainly think it makes long-term planning for NBA franchises a lot more.
1:10 left in the third. Here's Mitchell. Gobert trying to get open. It doesn't go for him. So Philadelphia will take it the other way.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive. How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Mitchell kicks to Ingles. Back to Mitchell from deep. Rebound by the 76ers. Aldridge has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Villa, covered by Mitchell. Harris, right side. Shot clock at 6. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert. For Philadelphia, they have shot 6 or 7 at the line.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79. And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Mitchell against Simmons. Mitchell with it. To stop the run. No good on the last second attempt there. And so it's Philadelphia sitting on a lead of 40 points at the end. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And he may not be known as a pass-first guy playing out of the 2-guard spot, but he shows here that he can dole out an assist or two when he needs to.
Well, having multiple playmakers on the floor makes you a much tougher team to defend.
And as we head into the 4th, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. Rudy Gobert is out there with Rab. Then it's Donovan Mitchell, and it's Niang in at the small forward. That's the group right now for Utah.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
Well, they've absolutely dominated that category in this one, and it's reflected in the scores.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Pass to Gobert. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Well, to me, this is what great point guards do. Donovan Mitchell demonstrating just how skilled he is at connecting with open teammates.
No good from Villa. The Jazz shooting just 29% in this game. They are not a pretty sight out there offensively. Up and in on the layup.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
And the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him.
Well, you love his effort level, right? Particularly when it's winning time. He is going for the finish.
And the Jazz with some changes. Monroe comes in for Rudy Gobert, and it's Williams in for Rand. And then for Philadelphia, Pau Gasol's checked in for Aldridge. Ennis comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And Cameron Payne subbed in for Ben Simmons. Oni, he's covered by Villa. Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession. And it's never too early to start looking at our contenders for this year's dunk contest. There's no doubt it'll be a terrific showdown of some of the game's best athletes.
And it seems like each year the bar keeps getting set higher. I mean, more props, crazier concepts to the competition, the level of dunks. I think this is going to be a good one.
You look at Mitchell, and I know he'd like to make a move up in the consideration. He's got all the athleticism you hope for from a dunk contest participant.
He sure does. Lots of competition, though, in the running this year to get that big invite.
So there you go. And as it's looking, this year's dunk contest is shaping up to be a fantastic competition. We'll keep you updated on the voting.
No doubt it's going to be a good one, Kevin. We've got players on that list who'll do things that you didn't even think were possible.
Here's Villa. Those three-pointers off the mark. And so it's Mitchell who brings up the ball for the Jazz. Looking to get back on track here. And the layup is good.
There is a level of physicality, and the frame of Donovan Mitchell allows him to finish through contact.
Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
You know, they barely needed other contributions. This lead has been built through his offense.
The pass to Monroe. Shakes him. Tries again. Rejected by Gasol.
And really, Gasol does an incredible job getting his hands up in the air, which results in a ton of rejection. Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing. A nice defensive play. Alter the shot, then stay right there to clean up the glass.
Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. Of course, you and I were just talking about something Commissioner Silver said the other day about a proposed mid-season tournament. What do you think?
Well, I certainly think if they do move to a mid-season tournament, it's going to have real value for it to matter. To get the fans engaged, something has to be on the line. So, number one, you're going to have two goals. Instead of one championship, maybe you want to win that mid-season tournament too.
For Utah, they've gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the 76ers.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And when it's all said and done here, this will mark their 38th W on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Buckets.
He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Taken away. And they're pushing it up. Goes up. And then Mitchell with the dunk.
This is what they needed earlier on. At some point, it's too little, too late.
Yeah, but then again, this run came against a team that may have felt it had already won, and you get the sense it let its guard down.
Pass to Scott. Here's Villa, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
making every effort to put this game on ice.
Well, just terrific teamwork, GA. Each guy doing his part. You love what you're seeing from them tonight.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Oni defended by Villa. Mitchell passes to Niang. A three-pointer off the mark. Off target. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight. There's an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that'll do it, folks. For Dorisberg, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
Hey, man, this is Kenny, man.
Best. First up, we have Lifeless Reject getting... Wait! Oh man, gotta have a little more respect for yourself.
Coming into Miami,
it's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Tonight. Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports for NBA. DA, take it away. Great stuff, DA. Thank you. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Olynyk.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Look at the 76ers starting group. Harris and Embiid together in the middle. Buckets is out there with Simmons. And it's DeRozan in at the small forward. And for Miami, Butler and Olynyk, the forward duo. Then it's Sabonis. Then there's Alec Burks. And it's Bowen in at the point guard position. A lot of experience out on that floor in front of us, Brent. Your career spanned 14 seasons. Talk about how you saw the game differently as a veteran player versus the first couple years in the NBA.
Well, I saw it from the bench, quite frankly, as a veteran, Kevin.
Now, wait a minute. Now, hold on now. I know that's not altogether true.
I think the game just slows down. You start to understand that there is a tempo and a rhythm, not only to any given quarter, but any given game and any given season. So it's really, Kevin, about the idea of it slowing down. And I did sit on the bench towards the end, Kevin. That is true.
A little bit.
14's still a good number.
But it turned out well for
you. Well, I get to sit next to you.
Well, it's a lot of fun. You're right. It's a lot of fun. Here's Butler after the made shot from Villa. Left side, Butler. Here's Burks. It's hauled in by Harris.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. Here's Sabonis after the made shot from Villa. Works for 3. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
76ers have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. To the left side wing. Here's Villa. Hands it from downtown. Buckets got 9 points.
Now their offense is rolling. A perfect start. 4 of 4 so far.
Here's Bowen. He had 15 points last outing. And here's Burks. Sabonis, the pass to Bowen. 6 to shoot. The Heat need to get a shot off. A 3 ball. That one, no good. So Philadelphia will take it the other way.
Yeah, not really much of a flow offensively yet. Only 1 of 4 from the field.
Down low, here's Butler, and DeRozan sends it back. Harris against Burks. DeRozan, and finished off by DeRozan.
Well, for Tobias Harris to take this step, getting away from scoring and finding teammates to become a more adept passer, that's good signs.
Burks dishes to Olynyk. DeRozan against Butler. Pass to Bowen. Lets the three fly. The shot's good on the assist by Butler.
And you can see that Butler is the total package. Solid at recognizing when one of his guys is open. Well, they say players are made in the summertime. And that's Jimmy Butler's favorite time of year. He calls it grimy season. Gets out in the country and puts in that work.
They grab their own miss. Villa, defended by Butler. Here's Villa. Doesn't go for him. Some solid defense from Butler. And Greg, those summertime workouts for Butler, they are something.
I mean, they sure are. He calls them bandanas and buckets. Grows his hair out, 2-a-days, hot yoga, intentionally isolated from the hustle and bustle of the big city. It gives him an excuse to really just lock in. Oh, he just punches that one down with a fury.
And he rubs it in a little deeper with the hanging finish. Here's Bowen, guarded by Simmons. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Again, the miss by the Heat. And it's DeRozan with the ball for the Philadelphia 76ers. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. The big dunk at the end of the break.
And running with a full head of steam, but completely under control.
Yeah, you think he's comfortable at that speed? He's done it so many times before. Just an absolute blur in transition, and that helps get the rhythm going.
The Heat trail by 8. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. Passes it to Burks, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
Oh, that's a major league throwdown.
Keeps a tight grip on that rim, too, after the finish. Buckets passes to Embiid. To the left wing. Villa. Another three for Philadelphia.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
And the coach pretty smart for zoning in on him and giving him opportunities to stay with that confident play.
A fadeaway. The shot comes out, and that concludes the first quarter of play. 76ers on top, leading by 9. And don't go away. We'll be... Marquee matchup tonight. Jimmy Butler says he loves...
I'm one that if you're the best...
The 76ers leading by 12. Taking a look at the 76ers. We've got DeRozan. Ben Simmons is out there with buckets. Then there's LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Scott in a power forward. He'd have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
Thanks, Kevin. Buckets in that last game against the Jazz had a huge game. He scored 45 points, and his percentage was impressive, making a number of his free throws and field goal attempts. When you look at the stat sheet, he was mind-blowing. It's hard to imagine he can follow it up tonight with that same level of production. Kevin, we'll see.
Yeah, David, he was in attack mode all night long. GA really propelled them to that win.
When he's on, he is on. And there isn't all that much you can do to stop him.
And sometimes you can just look at a guy and you see the confidence that he's playing with. That's what I like best.
Well, they're passing to Olynyk from the high post. And Simmons with the rebound.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. You know, so many great dribblers, ball handlers in this league right now. Who's the best at shooting off the bounce?
Well, 3 prime candidates to do that, Kevin, exist at the point guard position, and I put James Harden in the point guard category. category with how much he has the ball. Harden, Kyrie, Steph Curry, three great names that are able to find their way to get the ball into the shooting pocket. No matter where they move, off the dribble, finding consistency. It's a really sought-after attribute in the players who are coming up now because of how impactful these guys have been.
Here's DeRozan. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
Soft leaner with no one there to contest. Probably made it a little more difficult than he had to.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Burks looking around. They get a hand on it. Pass to Villa.
Whoa. The solo alley-oop? That's not something we see too often.
Timed perfectly. Caught the defense totally off guard. The Heat trail by 18. Winslow, the pass to Butler. Off the run. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one on DeRozan.
You know, and Butler wasn't a starter until midway through his second season. But since then, his minutes have gone up, and his productivity has gone way up.
And he knocks down the first one. And Greg, when you look at the top perimeter defenders in the game today, how high does Jimmy Butler rank on that list?
Look, he's in the top handful, no doubt about it. Multiple all-defense selections. He is a true two-way terror.
At this point, you might as well go. Go ahead and chalk up the points when he's at the free throw line. Pretty much automatic.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Olynyk can't hit.
Well, a lot of players in the league are going to make that shot, and for him, it's pretty much automatic. It's a good defensive effort to prevent the layup.
Butler from outside, and the 3-ball is good. Butler's got 5 now.
I just like how confident Butler looks pulling up from deep. Knows he has what it takes to bury that jump shot on a consistent basis. And I like the back and forth here, showing confidence. From rain.
It seems like they're going to...
Kevin, thanks. Well, Che, in the first half, you did find your rhythm from outside the arc with 4 threes. How have you been so keyed in?
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. And you know, Buckets has really been making... It happened, guys.
The burst he's had when going at the rim has been fantastic. A lot of strong finishes through 2 quarters.
This is why the best athletes in the world play this game. If he finds a hole, he rips through and throws it down.
Butler and Olynyk, the forward duo. Then there's Alec Burks. Then it's Sabonis. And it's Bowen in at the 1 spot. So that's where Eric Spoelstra starts the second half with.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Jimmy Butler has made several all-star teams, but he remains single-minded in pursuit of his bigger goal. Butler said, "I just want to win a championship. That's all that matters. I didn't do it in high school, didn't do it in college. If I don't win it here, then I'll go to the 50 and over league someday. But I gotta win a championship at some stage." Kevin?
I like that attitude. Thank you, D.A.
Now they're playing working to perfection there, if that was their plan. And if it wasn't, maybe that should be their plan.
Al Simmons. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. 2 points. That one goes.
Oh, man, this would be a different ball game if they didn't have this type of scoring to rely on.
Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. Wing shot on the way. Bowen's shot is off.
Wouldn't surprise me to see him find his touch and still be a factor. Don't count them out yet.
And so it's Butler with it. He'll bring it up for the Miami Heat. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Here's Villa. Five on the clock. Sabonis grabs the board.
Well, he finds some space in that in-between gap there, Kevin. Too bad he can't release that one on target.
He gets that one. And that's now 7 points for Jimmy Butler.
Very steady in-between game there for Butler. You don't want to let him get too many of those.
And the 76ers call time here. Replay angles are interesting, Brent. Instant feedback on social media. Talk about the increased pressure now on referees to get every call right.
Well, so many times, Kevin, on nights where you're working games, you sit there for a minute and a half.
In super... Slow motion looking at the play.
And still sometimes hard to get it right.
Very hard.
What I think the league should think about doing with the competition committee is every team in the league should have 3 and 4 cameras that are mounted so that every time there's a replay at any given arena, they have access to the same angles.
For every game.
Every game. Where are most of the times these calls being missed? Where are these calls getting wronged? And how is it that we can implement some technology to help us not only get it right more often, which is the most important thing, but also fair and balanced vision for the referees to have an opportunity to do so.
What an excellent idea. The pass to Sabonis. Kicks to Kid Gilchrist. And that's It's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. The 76ers leading by 20. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
No, big finish, emphatic.
He hangs on the rim just for good measure. Wow. For Miami, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvement, sir. Winslow finds Kid Gilchrist. There's 1:40 left in the third quarter of the game. Clock at 6. And the basket by Johnson. Johnson's got 6.
That's just a mindset right there from James Johnson. You challenge him in the painted area all you want, he's going to go right back at you.
Kid Gilchrist with the steal. He feeds it to Winslow. Banked in off the glass. Winslow's got his second bucket.
Well, that's a defensive breakdown. You can't let him get that deep.
Yeah, how do you let him get a lounge chair down there and be comfortable in the paint like that?
In the corner, it's Kid Gilchrist. Pass to Winslow. Launches it. And Philadelphia grabs the miss.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
It's good. And the 76ers lead by 20.
For his career, more than 3/4 of Plumlee's basket have come within 3 feet of the rim, so you know he's going to take it inside.
Passes it to Sabonis. Picked his pocket. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Here's Villa. And the 76ers tack on 2 more.
Defense shaking their heads. No idea how to stop him in this quarter. He's got him on the ropes.
On the wing, Winslow. Richardson covering. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. 1 second left. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's Philadelphia holding a 22-point lead as the quarter wraps up. Their defense has been active and effective. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feat.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. Taking a look at the 76ers. They've got buckets. DeRozan out there with Scott. Then it's Simmons. And it's Aldridge in at the 5 down low. Brent, when we talk about home court advantage, do you feel it's the same as it used to be? It has that same impact?
I do think it's still hugely important, Kevin. It's less important when there's a team that has been together for a long time and has proven that they can take their wares on the road and come home with a victory. But it absolutely gives you a level of comfort as a player to get into your routine, to be at a place that seems familiar. Something deep down psychologically helps every member of that team being at home.
Villa, Burks covering, Embiid trying to break loose. And good work on the boards, and they pick up the second chance points.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory.
Exactly right, but with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. We'll see you next time.
Hey, this is Kenny, man. You've been
at home, but we are working hard to bring you 2K TV. And I know I've been doing a lot of eating, a lot of...
Sad news. Hey.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. The 2K Sports pregame show.
And in the locker room, each guy has been going over and through his own. And we've got, well, yeah, they dotted every I and crossed every T. David, thank you. And a chance now to see how teams are faring across the league. Here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Taking a look at Minnesota, they're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And right now for the 76ers, they continue to obliterate expectations because they found a way to get the most out of the guys on this roster.
So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. Walker and Smart, the guard. Williams is out there with Favors, and it's Tatum in at the 3, the small forward. And for the 76ers, Ben Simmons is out there with buckets. Then there's Embiid, then there's LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's DeRozan in at the 3 spot. Chris, if your team's style of play doesn't seem to be working, do you still have time within a season to change it?
There's always time, as long as everyone is on the same page. And if something's not working, the worst thing you can do is to keep going in that direction. You can bring everyone in, let them know the mistakes that we made, let them know.
Oh, he delivers that with force!
I cannot believe that. And how about the look at the midair, theatric switching hands before the slam?
Wow, added just a touch of class to that throwdown. Tatum against DeRozan, and it's Jason Tatum with a 3.
An exceptionally polished scorer for his age. Tatum's lethal from the perimeter.
Here's Simmons. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
Now here's Smart. He's covered by Villa. Smart deciding where to go with it. Over to the left wing. 6 on the shot clock. Outside Tatum.
And the cold start gets a little colder. Just 1 for 4 to start the game.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Tatum with another miss.
Just 1 for 5 from the field now. I mean, they've come out flat. They need to pick up the energy.
And the basket is in from Villa.
Look, I love how Simmons makes his teammates better. He's consistent and looking to get them going. And some teams have fancy dinners, guest speakers, and field trips. I mean, the Celtics culture is more straightforward. It's all about the work.
Walker the pass to Favors. Over in the corner, Williams. Pass to Tatum. Nice D from DeRozan.
Still plenty of time for him to contribute in this game, but it's a tough stretch he's going through.
And that work ethic, the core of the Celtics' values, are written on a big placard on their locker room wall.
Yeah, it emphasizes unselfishness, execution, toughness, and hustle. Those are the values of their team.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark. So the Celtics call timeout. They're first. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
The bench did exactly what they needed to do. Without their production, who knows if they win that that game.
And some changes here for the 76ers. Plumlee is checked in for Joel Embiid. Tobias Harris comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And Josh Richardson subbed in for DeMar DeRozan. And a new group in for the Celtics. Alex Len's checked in for Robert Williams. Daniel Tice comes in for Derek Favors. Jaylen Brown's checked in for Marcus Smart. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Walker.
When you find yourself up double digits in the first quarter, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, true. But now it's about sustaining their energy and maintaining the focus.
Pass to VanVleet. Can they get it? Again, the miss by the Celtics. The 76ers leading by 11. Here's Villa. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Not hard to see why they are giving up points on this one. Just too many good looks from in close.
And as he's checked in for the 76ers. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Now here's Tatum. He's guarded closely, and it's sent back by Plumlee.
He shot them in the foot with his inability to make shots.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Yeah, and it hasn't just been the offensive output. They're putting in the work at the defensive end as well.
Now a timeout called by Boston. Here's one of the most versatile scorers in the game, Tobias Harris. He had some great teachers, too, including Hall of Famer George the Iceman Gervin.
Yeah, well, check this out, Kevin. His father was Gervin's agent late in his career. I mean, from age 10, Tobias got to train at Gervin's facility every summer. And they still... work out to this day. That's a real one. Harris learning from a great how to get buckets.
There's the pass to VanVleet. To the inside. Brown. And he converts the layup.
Oh, you love the level of concentration Brown maintains. I mean, taking the hit well and finishing in style.
Villa. He's covered by Brown. Villa.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, they've been very aggressive, and they've taken early control of this game.
A free throw off from Villa. Celtics trail by 16. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Tatum wide open. He fires one. And that one goes long.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Such a wide open look. And it's now 22 points for buckets.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
Yeah, you got to be careful. It's still early. They've expended a lot of energy, but they've also built a nice cushion here.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with a 19... And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. Guys, 76ers pretty much in control here, it would seem.
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets.
And Walker kicks to Favors. Back to Walker. .156 left in the first half of the game. Just 4 to shoot. To end the run. That shot missing. Now the 76ers take it the other way. Last meeting was in Boston, where they were unable to fight off the Celtics.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Well, how often do we hear, Greg? I mean, you got to take care of the basketball. I mean, they got to be much more disciplined tonight.
Favors passes to Walker. From outside the arc, and it's Joel Embiid with the rebound. Embiid's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Yeah, they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Buckets in that last game against the Heat was a man on a mission. He picked up 39 points, and he did a great job of letting the game come to him, connecting on a number of his shots. He racked up big numbers in what was a really good performance. Can he carry it over tonight? We'll see, Kevin.
Yeah, David in stretches, he was absolutely dominant. Greg, he'd love to match that performance tonight.
This team needs his contributions. When he's right, he makes winning plays time and time again.
Yeah, Greg, it's all about getting into a comfort zone early. When he does that, he can be very difficult to contain the rest of the way.
And the Celtics making a change here. Tatum's checked in. Now Walker, he's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Blanketed by the D, he fights to the rim for the layup.
And Walker is downright insane with the ball, really showing off his insane ball handling ability.
It's the three-point bomb.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Releases. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Aldridge has got 6 rebounds now in the game. Stolen by Smart. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers riding high with a 23-point lead heading into the break. Their defense has been terrific in this game. We'll return shortly. With a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. And you know, Buckets has really been making it happen, guys.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And as they can't slow him down, you know what you do? Keep feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. This is the right game plan.
Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for the Celtics, Walker and Smart, the guards. Favors is out there with Jason Tatum, and it's Williams at the 5. That free throw good from Villa. Chris, the common thought is you don't want to be a middle-of-the-road team. You think clubs are too quick now to pull the trigger on a rebuild as opposed to giving some time to what they've got and be more patient?
Are you kidding me, Kevin? Don't make me go. This is why I need a psychologist, because, hey, when I was in Washington, we had myself, Rasheed Wallace, and Juwan Howard, and Rod Strickland. Just wait a minute. Give us 1 year to try. And by the way, the Bulls won 72. We couldn't have won a championship that year anyway. And so, yeah, I think a lot of teams are short-sighted, and it's based upon their expectations, and their expectations may not be based in reality.
Fast break, Philadelphia. I mean, that's a rugged play.
And how's that for a one-man show? Put this fella on Broadway.
The most magnificent alley-oop we could have seen. Here's Smart, and it's blocked by Simmons.
At the reach of Simmons, I mean, coming into play on these blocks, you got to be careful shooting around this guy.
Villa, guarded by Walker, knocks it loose. And a fast break now for the Celtics. Walker's running. He dishes it to Tatum. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, the footwork, the positioning. Tatum's a difficult cover inside.
Moves on moves. That's Jason Tatum.
I mean, this guy's a natural isolation scorer. Jab steps, crossovers, turnarounds, fadeaways.
He's got an awful lot in his bag.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Plumlee, he's checked in for Joel Embiid. Harris comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Richardson in for DeMar DeRozan. Here's Van Vliet. Good, and Smart gets the assist. Van Vliet's got 6.
And they finally get one to go. I mean, just in time, and 0 for 4 start to the second half can really make a team tighten up.
Here's Villa. A shot missing. Great D that time from Tatum. And so Van Vliet will bring it up for the Boston Celtics. They host the Kings after this game. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home.
You bet.
76ers have shot the ball well from the free throw line. 8 of 9. That's good from Harris.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Boston's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. Walker with it. Now guarded by Simmons. Walker's shot is off.
His touch has been off tonight, and now his judgment is off too. Oh, shot. He was ready to go tonight. I mean, he's made more plays than anyone else out there. No question about it.
And the Celtics shooting a pretty sorry 29% from the floor here. Van Vliet finds Tice. Outside, Walker. Here's Tatum. DeRozan with the rebound.
I don't think the D does good enough here, but something causes the miss.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Villa. He's guarded by Williams. 6 to shoot. Here's Villa. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off. And the dunk by Embiid.
It's easy to admire Embiid. I mean, the game seems to come so easy to the big fella, especially when it comes to dunking.
From deep three-point range, and the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Philadelphia in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going. And it's time to bring up the State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
I mean, well, if you're the coaching staff, I mean, you're pumped up. This highlight will not only make it on the TV, it'll make it into the film session.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. They've got buckets. Murray out there with Joel Embiid. Then there's Ben Simmons. And it's Gasol at the center position. That's the group in the game for the 76ers. Passes it to Tice. Nice ball movement by Boston. Pass to Edwards for 3. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Villa. Edwards defending. Here's Villa. Again, Philadelphia.
It's been a clinical performance. He's played a huge role and has them in position to grab the W.
Langford kicks to Tice. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing. And
you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, here at home, no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA.
Hey, it's Shaq.
With All-Star Weekend coming up.
was at a minute.
We hope to see you again. So visit us online or at the
And just about to get underway as the starting fives have been announced. Sit tight. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome to the weekend, everybody. Let's get it going with NBA action on 2K Sports. Along with Steve Smith and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And our friend on the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge, we'll be hearing from shortly. Hey, Dave.
For a long time, the Raptors playing in Canada was seen by some as a detriment to their competitive prospects.
And the game is going global. You're right. Thank you, DA. Both teams tonight dealing with some injuries. Here's a look at who's out for the evening.
Over the course of a long season, injuries will happen. Still plenty of time left, and the race is for those who can endure.
Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. Harrison and Embiid together in the middle. Buckets is out there with Simmons. And it's DeRozan in at the small forward position. And for the Raptors, Anunoby and Siakam in at the forward slots. Lowry and Powell, the guards. And it's Millsap in at the center position. Smitty, the increased pace of the game, how does that affect players, you think, trying to get through the season in terms of, say, fatigue?
You know, I think for the teams that those coaches understand, they do a great job of playing 10, 11, 12 guys throughout the season. It usually bodes well. It's those organizations that's going 6, 7, only 8 deep. You see those guys start to fatigue, and any injury, then you really see it shows up on paper and on the floor when you're not a deep team.
Now here's Powell. Defense is right there. Basket good.
And the fireworks begin. Should be an amazing show tonight.
How good is it to see the first one go through the net?
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Philadelphia shooting their first free throws here for the night. That's good from Villa.
The Toronto Raptors are an elite defensive group. Reasons why: they're long, they're smart, and they're experienced.
To talk about the defensive IQ, Smitty, for the Raptors, where does that reveal itself?
For me, Kevin, their rotations. They are able to send help, double teams, and still recover and get out to shooters.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Takes the 3. And no good that time. And Toronto will go the other way with it. Their last meeting was in Philadelphia, where they were unable to fight off the 76ers.
It wasn't even close in their last matchup, and their offense just wasn't ready to compete at that level.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
What I love now, Siakam can put the ball on the floor. He wasn't asked to do a lot of that in college, but he never stops improving.
At the line for 2.
Siakam hits them both.
You know, we see every year 1 or 2 guys drafted toward the end. the first round contribute well for their team, but Pascal Siakam has gone well beyond that.
No good from Villa.
3 straight misses to begin this contest and already started to look frustrated.
Here's Anunoby, guarded by Harris. Shot clock at 5. Here's Anunoby. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And don't look now, but they're starting to extend this lead.
They're doing it by building it out, step by step, valuing each possession.
And how about that? Snuck in off the baseline and then the sensational reverse.
How pretty was that? Athletic basketball with a little bit of flair mixed in. Some nice ball movement here by the Raptors. 3-pointer, Lowry. Not going to go that time. Simmons with the defensive effort. And that one is stuffed right through.
Now that's some hang time. What a pretty double clutch move.
Agreed, Greg. You can afford to get fancy on your way up when you've got that kind of space. Now, here's Siakam. Really played well against Sacramento in his last outing. Tries from 10. That one's rebounded by Embiid. Villa now recovering. And another. Once again, shot good from Villa. Bucket's got 8 points.
This is where Tobias has really improved, keeping his eyes up, making plays for others.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
Well, let's see if Coach can get them back on the right track.
Because right now, it feels like the pace is being dictated to them. They need to go back to playing their brand of basketball.
Group in now for the Raptors. Alan Williams, he's checked in for Millsap. Jonah Bolden comes in for Pascal Siakam. Patrick McCaw, he's... checked in for Norman Powell, and Corey Joseph subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Then for the 76ers, Mason Plumlee's checked in for Joel Embiid. Aldridge comes in for Tobias Harris, and it's Richardson in for DeMar DeRozan. Now here's Joseph. 11 points for him in that last game against Sacramento.
Yeah, and I look at his total effect on the scoring, both as a passer and a shooter. Incredibly productive.
Anunoby passes to Bolden. Kicks it to Joseph. Here's McCall. Richardson cover. The Raptors need to get a shot up. Joseph. Offensive rebound. And he banks in the layup.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
1:02 left to play in the first quarter. And the shot goes down.
They're getting him shots in his spots. That's understanding your personnel.
Here's Joseph. He's still scoreless so far in this one. To the middle. Here's McCaw. And that one goes. Feeding him with the lead pass.
One sign of a great playmaker, hitting his man in stride.
Oh, yes. That is not possible. What we just, is that possible?
I think it is, Greg. Not probable, but like possible, like you said. Now, here's Joseph. He averages about 5 points a game. Williams kicks to Anunoby. Passes to Bolden. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shoots. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And the difference in that one, the efficiency from range. They really focused on getting good looks.
And if it wasn't there, each guy was willing to make the extra pass. Trust in his teammates.
Out to the wing. And here's Joseph for 3. Here's Williams.
A good defensive position by Aldridge. Veteran play. He really affected that shot.
And don't go away. We'll be right back. Making his mark in Toronto, guard Kyle Lowry talked about the pioneers of Canadian basketball, like Vince Carter.
Vince Carter really changed the game of basketball in Canada. He created something that is forever lasting, and I think the game of basketball in Canada owes him a lot because he really brought the buzz to the game of basketball.
Goodness. Said it better myself. Carter's exciting style of play, GA, really energized the whole country.
And playing basketball in a hockey town isn't easy, but Carter really helped get this city and country energized about the game of basketball.
And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And looking at what we've seen from the 76ers, what do you guys think?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Especially at the start. You want to get something positive going and establish your rhythm.
Corey Joseph is out there with McCall. Then it's Williams. And it's Bolden in at the 4. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin.
The game is evolving. We know that. New moves and techniques developed. Talk about some. That have grown in popularity since the time of your retirement to now.
You know, the step back is one, and then also the step back is one. The Euro step, and I think also guys right now being able to launch their bodies into guys. I don't want to say it's a move, but that's how guys are playing. Because you can't hand check, guys are throwing their body into the defender on the move even more.
Bolden passes to Powell. 1:12 left to play in the first half. And a chance now to look at the schedule for the Raptors. On Sunday, they'll be matching up against Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. And then on Tuesday, they'll take on John Wall and the Washington Wizards.
And looking at the Mavericks matchup, there aren't many other meetings that are as evenly matched as this one. Both teams can give and take punches, and this one, I think, is going to come down to the wire.
OG Anunoby's checked in for Toronto. Villa, guarded by Powell. Puts it up from 12. Pass to Villa. Three-pointer. Siakam pulls it in. Toronto's gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to be on Mason Plumlee.
Yes, people have been surprised by Siakam's offense. What I'm surprised about is the efficiency.
Siakam hits them both.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line. And guys, I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is to get the 2 points, not necessarily the dramatics.
Oh, come on. He had to go for that, didn't he? My goodness. Doubled by Villa. And Joseph kicks to Anunoby. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
All that length, Aldridge able to close airspace quickly.
Over the taller defender. This is why you have to stay connected to shooters on the perimeter.
And let's give him some credit. He read the situation well. He created some space and he delivered.
So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in the... Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the... Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game it's been so far. And you know, buckets hit. Has really been making it happen, guys.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
And it's not like everything's been at the rim. There's been a number of jump shots along the way.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And so in the game for the 76ers, Harris and Embiid together in the middle. And hold on!
Kevin, you gotta buckle up on that one.
My goodness, that was absolutely filthy.
Oh, nasty. This building is stunned. He dug deep, Greg, into his bag of tricks there. I'll refine Siakam. Here's Powell. To the paint. Here's Lowry. That one's rebounded by Embiid. Embiid's got 6 rebounds in the game. And slam dunk by Harris. Third quarter here and 5 lead changes so far.
And guys, neither team has been able to pull away.
There's the steal. Fires the 3. That shot no good. And Toronto will go the other way with it. Harris against Siakam. And the Raptors miss again.
Starting the half with 3 straight misses. Not how they envisioned this one.
Yes, that goes in. And it's a 3-point Philadelphia lead.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior. And when he gets ahead of steam, you almost feel sorry for defenders. Ben Simmons, a combination of size, speed, and ball handling that can at times be unstoppable.
Alan Williams is checked in for the Raptors. Patrick McCaw comes in for Norman Powell. Just over a minute and a half played here in the third. Anunoby passes to Lowry. Back to Anunoby. The pass to Millsap. Just 5 on the clock. Lowry from outside. It's hauled in by Harris. And with his passing and driving ability, Greg, Simmons is like combining a power running back in football with a pinpoint passing quarterback. Not much he can't do.
Kevin, a football metaphor is appropriate. Simmons grew up playing Australian rules football, and the physicality and quick thinking of that sport really reflected in his style of play.
Here's Villa, and he just jams it right over Paul Millsap. What a play.
Oh, he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open. A three connects from three-point range. Millsap's got the game tied up here for the Raptors.
Paul Millsap is very capable as a spot-up threat.
Over to the wing. Villa. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got 4 assists now tonight.
And what a half for this offense. If